Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
ADITYA VERMA,
Right.
this is your second attempt,
Yes.
first interview.
Yes.
You did your BTech from IIT Delhi.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is engineering physics?
Yes, sir. Sir, engineering physics is basically the application of mathematical concepts, physical concepts in the fields of any field of human concern, sir. For example, it could be biology, where we build the RT-PCR tests, for example, are being done using the physical concepts, and sir, some electrostatic precipitator, for example, using that falls in the category of engineering physics only.
So you don't want to follow that as your career option?
No, sir.
Why?
So because firstly I have a calling for civil services since childhood. So that as a career option has been established in my mind. And so secondly, I personally feel that I am not very up to the mark in the field of physics. So not up to that level so that I can contribute that effectively.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what you want to achieve through civil service? What is your objective of joining civil
Yes, sir.
service?
Sir, there is not a singular objective of joining, but sir, as a career option, civil services offers me basically an overlap of many qualities that I would require in my job as a dream job, for example. So, for example, there is job diversity, there is good advancement in career opportunities as well, and diversity of areas in which I can serve the people. So many brackets where are getting coincided here.
Okay. Your father is in police,
Yes.
additional SP, or he has been promoted again?
Sir, he's presently an additional SP.
Where?
Sir, in Mirzapur. Right.
Mirzapur.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How is the law and order situation in UP?
Sir, in the post-election scenario, the law and order situation in UP is currently stable right now. So, but there have been a few instances. For example, the Hathras case, which was witnessed 1.5 years back. Sometimes these things flare up and catch attention in the news. So overall, the law and order situation is fine, sir.
Okay. And UP also has started introducing commissionery system of police.
Right, sir.
What is the advantage?
Sir, commissionerate system is presently operational in 5 districts of Uttar Pradesh, as per my knowledge. So, the basic advantage which commissionerate system offers is that it offers more discretionary powers to the police. It basically handles the magisterial powers or executive powers of district magistrate to the commissioner or the IPS of that particular area. So, discretion is faster, sir, basically.
But is it good or is it bad? There should be some checks and balance.
Right, sir.
It can lead to misuse
Yes, sir.
if you have magisterial power as well as the police power.
Yes, sir. Sir, since inception of separation of powers, as you rightly pointed, sir, this concept is that is why the concentration of power was not in the first place. But it has been observed that in some places like Mumbai and other like Delhi also, sir, the police effectiveness has increased due to the commissionerate system. So, in order to comply with that, in larger districts, the UP government has taken this decision, sir.
You have also opted for IPS as your number 2 preference.
Yes.
You are keen in joining IPS. I mean after IAS.
Yes, sir. After IAS.
Okay. This politician police nexus, as they say, is a fact of life. Huh? Does it deter you from joining police? How will you handle political interference as and when you join IPS?
Yes, sir. So political interference is a reality in India in the police. So if a case comes to me, sir, then I will refer the law books, and I will definitely handle it legally, and I will not succumb to the political demands, sir, without basically following the legal rules, sir. Yes, sir.
Stick to that.
Yes, sir.
Yours.
So further, I think I'll be guided by my seniors as well.
Seniors, yes. Your subject is mathematics.
Yes.
Have you heard of Vedic maths?
Yes, sir.
What is Vedic maths?
So Vedic maths is basically using the ancient concepts of mathematics, so faster calculation methods to arrive at results in a better and a faster manner. So, for example, in my case, sir, I have seen people and my batchmates as well who have studied Vedic maths in their formative years, and because of that, their numeracy skills are way more better than that of ours.
It's fast gaining popularity, Vedic maths.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Along with abacus as well.
Your first preference for the state cadre is UP.
Yes, sir.
UP was divided into two, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. There has been a constant demand to further subdivide the UP to say Harit Pradesh and the eastern part,
Purvanchal.
Purvanchal. Do you agree to this concept? Will it lead to better administration?
Sir, I do agree with the fact that bifurcating Uttar Pradesh into smaller fragments, like 4 states, is that demand. Sir, I think that would offer better management and decentralization, and which would enable good governance in future. As sir, answerability, accountability, and delivery of services will increase. So secondly, there are certain areas in Uttar Pradesh, for example, Bundelkhand and Purvanchal region. They are developing at a very skewed rate when compared to Harit Pradesh or Awadh Pradesh. Sir, so for example, in Bundelkhand, the political representation is very less. As far as I can recall, only 50 seats are there for that particular area. 25 to 50 seats are there in total legislative assembly of 403. So, sir, political accountability is very less, and thereby development is also not taking place. And sir, if we see the historical examples of when Chhattisgarh was divided from Madhya Pradesh, or when Jharkhand was divided from Bihar, so their economic development rate almost doubled in the years to come.
So why it is not being done if that is so useful?
Sir, I think the main reason is because political willingness is not there, as UP holds 80 member of parliaments, and it is, so for example, it is a well accepted fact that if any political party has a good hold over Uttar Pradesh, then it can also maintain a good hold over the center. And sir, if Uttar Pradesh is bifurcated into more fragments, so then that amount of power, I think that authority will not remain.
So it's
that
a
much.
lever of power.
So there are several factors involved, sir, but I think it is the predominant factor, sir, which is occurring. So although I would also stress on the point that dividing Uttar Pradesh and bifurcating is not the ultimate solution. Ultimately, sir, we need to empower the Panchayati Raj institutions and urban local bodies for overall good governance, sir. It is not a panache, basically, sir.
Just a minute.
Yeah, please.
You said Bundelkhand is poorly represented. Instead of dividing the state, you create small states. One is unable to count the number of states then. We can go for delimitation. In delimitations, the state, the representation given on the population basis. So that problem of poor representation of Bundelkhand can be addressed by delimitation of constituencies.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware about delimitation of
Yes.
constituencies? What is that? Tell us. What is your comment on that?
So about the delimitation?
Yes. Why you suggest? You just now said that dividing into 4 will be a good solution. I say that same thing can be achieved by delimitation of constituencies.
Yes.
You agree or disagree? What?
So delimitation can be used in order to increase the political representation. So, but I think, sir, it is not the ultimate solution as well, because Bundelkhand is also faces certain other problems apart from political representation. So, for example, the existing poverty rates, the existing economic development of the region is not up to the mark, and only increasing the political representation is not a solution. And other methods, for example, empowering the grassroots level democracies, panchayati raj institutions, would do the main job rather than bifurcating. So,
Okay. Both the Prime Minister and Chief Minister of UP during elections, they have been talking of this double engine government.
yes.
What is this double engine government?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of the term, but if you would like to guess me.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I think it is double engine government refers to that BJP in Uttar Pradesh and then the same party at the national level as well.
Then what happens to our concept of federalism?
Yes.
That means you are trying to say that if the same party is in power in the state and the city, state will progress faster.
Yes.
So in a federal state, country, there can be some other party holding power in other states, as it is now.
Yes.
So those states will be at a disadvantage.
Right, sir.
Isn't it against the concept of federalism?
Right, sir. Sir, indeed, sir, these political frictions create federal imbalances. But, sir, I think the double engine government is more or less a positive concept, whereby federal concepts will be more enhanced. So, I think more support will be there rather than neglecting other regions. So, that positive concept, basically.
Aditya, you're fond of listening to rock music.
Right, sir.
Don't you think that rock music has now losing popularity as compared to other?
Yes.
Which are the favorite singers? Rock singers?
So is David Gilmour from the band Pink Floyd, and sir, it is also Robert Plant from the Led Zeppelin band. So to answer your question, sir, indeed the popularity has heavily declined because in the 1970s and the 1980s, the major popularity was there because of these legendary bands. So currently there are these bands were a British legacy, but now the main center is shifting towards the American region, where new more rock bands are emerging. So, but I personally feel that the golden touch which was presently there in the 1980s era is not being witnessed there here presently, and that is why the popularity is relatively declining.
And Elvis Presley, you've heard him?
Elvis Presley.
Right, sir. I've heard one song of him.
Nowadays, since you have taken mathematics as an option, abacus learning is also getting ground nowadays.
Right, sir.
So, what do you feel about it? It has some future. Abacus will gain popularity, and what is the benefits of abacus learning?
So the benefits are very simple in nature, that it will enhance the speed of calculation. It will make our minds more efficient to function. Streamlining would be there in our brains. Logical circuits will function better. So, sir, I think it will definitely increase the numeracy skills of the students. And if we teach abacus and sir, as sir also mentioned, the Vedic mathematics since the formative years, sir, definitely the numeracy skills of the children and the students will increase, as it has been emphasized in the national education policy as well. So
Yeah, now the schools are also recommending their students to
yes,
opt for abacus learning.
yes.
What do you understand by coding? Coding is another area where now the youngsters are being propelled to learn coding also.
Yes.
What do you think about coding?
Sir, So coding again is a very nice thing, and it intrigues our mind to think more and think more efficiently, solving complex problems in more and more efficient manner. This is basically the idea and algorithm guiding coding. Sir, I think it is a very good thing, and it should be promoted in the formative years, but it should not be imposed, because I have seen certain cases whereby parents were very much uh, pleased by the advertisements given on YouTube that my son was studying coding from the sixth standard and now he's in Google. So these kind of fraudulent advertisements should not be promoted. Otherwise, it is a very positive thing.
And sometimes it is felt that original research has all been done in the past. I mean, major inventions and discoveries have been made. So very little is left now to be researched on. Do you agree with this?
Sir, in the area of computer science.
Not only computer science, general in science at large.
So, sir, I personally don't agree with this opinion that we have less to research. There are more and more avenues coming. For example, the gravitational waves, and we recently sent the James Webb Telescope to look for more findings and understand the cosmic background radiation. Sir, I think there is a large scope left for humanity to explore.
Another question related to research. Why our youngsters are not taking research as a career? Not many of them. So what should be done to encourage them to take up this career?
Sir, this aspect was taken in the science and technology innovation policy as well. So the government is focusing on this aspect, and it has sought to increase the research and developmental expenditure, which is currently hovering around 0.7% of the GDP, to and increase it further to 1 or 1.2% maybe. And so to further attract more researchers and young researchers, I think it should be started from the schooling level, and whereby, so for example, there was a program of ISRO, 𝐀𝐝𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 girls in the space research areas or mathematical modeling areas. So these kind of activities should be promoted, sir.
And what do you think about fake encounters? Your father is in police, and you are also keen to join police.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
So, fake encounter, I think it is not pardonable, sir. It must be avoided because it ultimately leads to a greater chaos in society. As sir, if the legal rules are not upheld, then in the short term it may seem that I'm doing and I'm providing justice to the society by killing this person because he is ultimately a wrong person.
But in the police eye, they are doing right job. But in public eye, it looks as if this is the fake encounter. What do you have to say?
Yes, sir. Indeed, it is the right approach to think, sir, because society ultimately has to understand that that encounter is not a right thing. If police believe that killing this person is right, and society is believing that killing
No,
him,
but it need be police is getting into the last resort of an encounter tomorrow.
yes,
One cannot say this is the fake encounter or not. How can you say that every encounter is a fake encounter?
right. So your case is that a real encounter is taking place, but the public is
What is
displaying.
fake encounter?
Yes. Fake encounter is that, sir, in which police was not
How
acting.
can one decide whether it is a genuine encounter or a fake encounter?
Sir, the main tussle is around this only, sir.
That is what my point was.
Yes, sir.
Sir, sorry, please.
So as sir pointed out, sir, the basic loophole, this loophole is being utilized, sir.
Because police says it is genuine encounter, but
So,
there is always a lingering doubt in such cases, which are very clear, that it could be a fake encounter. Inquiries are held, sometimes clean sheet is given to police also, but it is affected, sometimes it takes place.
yes, sir.
Okay, my last question. What do you think of death penalty? I feel it is a very inhuman punishment. It should not be resorted to so easily. And it should be done away with. Many countries have not done away with. What is your opinion?
Sir, in my
And
opinion,
don't say that rarest of rare case it should be given.
yes, sir.
What is your personally what you feel about it?
Yes, sir. So, in my opinion, both these things are fine. Death penalty can be given in rarest of the rare case, and also, sir, death penalty should majorly be avoided, in my opinion, sir. Because when death penalty is being given to a person, and uh, life imprisonment is given instead of that, then that person will realize his mistake for the rest of his life. So that, in my point, is very very important for that person to realize his mistake.
Thank you, Aditya. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think from your record, it seems that you were selected for NDA,
Yes,
National Defense Academy and Naval Academy. You passed, but you didn't join. Why?
sir. I was medically restricted in my life. Sir, I have a medical condition that is palmoplantar hyperhidrosis, which is commonly known as sweaty palms, sir. So the FDA guidelines were very strict on that regard, and it could not allow that thing, sir.
Okay, so you were keen to join,
Yes,
but they didn't take you.
yes, sir. So in the medical, I was not, sir.
Rejected.
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay. So you have been a swimming champion also.
sir. Yes.
So why you didn't opt for a career? Man, you have a lot of achievements to your credit in swimming. So why didn't you opt for a career in swimming or in sports or something? So I mean that would have improved our sports achievements also. Why did you opt for? Then you did your BTech and you are trying to get into the civil services, which is the usual route. Why don't you go for the tougher route? Be a national, international level athlete.
Yes. Sir, swimming definitely interests me, and it has always been my hobby, but not as a career option because I think, sir, innately my swimming is not up to the mark of that level which the nation requires. And I think my innate talent of swimming is not that much which is required up to the national level or the in the sports competition, because sir, innately some physical advantage is required. So specifically in swimming, an advantage is there of height. So sir, that is a natural disadvantage also. Sir, further I would also pursue swimming and I would not leave it. I will take part if fortunately I become a civil servant, then I would certainly take part in the swimming competition there, and I would represent.
And you have given okay. I mean, as a swimmer, what suggestions if we have to get? We are nowhere in swimming, I think, with the other nations in Olympics and all. If we have to improve our performance in swimming, what we need to do as a nation?
Right, sir. Sir, in the first place, we should set up the adequate infrastructure. Starting from the school level only. Most of the schools in India, 99% of them do not have a swimming pool, and I think the most important nurturing ground for any sport.
Nowadays, what are you talking about? Nowadays,
Yes, sir.
most of the school doesn't have the swimming pools.
Yes, sir.
ये उल्टा है शायद.
Sir, I'll check upon that. But
Now schools are
Most of the schools have swimming pool now. Even in the Sarkari schools, you get to see at least every fourth school, Sarkari school has one swimming academy or swimming pool over there.
sir, I'll
getting
definitely
popular.
check upon that. But the impression which I have, I think I was telling upon that. Sir, more or less, we need to create adequate and nurturing infrastructure. So, secondly, sports coaching and sports training center, both inside the school and outside the school, needs to be set up apart from the requisite infrastructure. And thirdly, sir, programs like 𝐀𝐝𝐤𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐸 program should devise a plan for swimming specifically and make the plan aware for the common citizens so that people willing to participate in swimming should come forward and join it.
You have given IFS as your fifth option.
Yes.
Why so? Why not first or second option?
So main preference is to go for IAS and IPS. From the childhood aspirational levels, it was present. So, but if it comes to working in IFS, I would definitely take that job, and it is a matter of preference. So that's why I've given it to them.
No, but you have rated it below your customs and revenue service.
Yes.
So how would you get? And there must be any cogent reasons for giving it a fifth place.
So there is also a factor that I want to serve in the nation, inside the nation and inside India. So that is a factor also, sir.
Sure.
ठीक है, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.